Hello everyone, I'm Anand Shankar and today we will be discussing file system interface improvements in XV6 and the features would be taken from the source OS Linux. So the first feature we will be discussing is access timestamps for files. In Linux, we have three types of timestamps available for every file, which are the access time, the modified time, and the C time. Access time refers to the last time the file was accessed, modified time refers to the time it was last modified, and C time refers to the time when the metadata was changed for the file. In the case of XV6, we do not have any of these parameters because we do not have any fields available in the inodes where we store the time. So today we will be implementing the access time timestamp for XV6. So in order to perform the implementation, this is our plan. So first of all, we will be adding parameters to the inode so that it can store the timestamp. Then we will modify the function for creation and opening of files so that whenever these functions are performed, the current time gets stored in the time parameters for that inode. Then we will make some additional changes to set the parameters for system files that were not created by a XV6 but were made by performing makefile. And to display the access time, we will be editing the ls command so that it shows the access time alongside. As the first step of the implementation, we will be editing the inode and the dynode structures that are present in XV6. So we have studied that every file has an indexing node called inode which contains the parameters of that file, and correspondingly the disk has an indexing structure called dinode which stores the content of the file. So currently in XV6 we do not have any parameters in these data structures to store the time. So what we will do is that we will add some new fields in the inode as well as the dynode structure that will be used to store the time. So these parameters have been taken from the date RTC data structure that is present in the date.h file. So these are so for example, I took the fields second, minute, hour, day, month, and year. So all these values will store the current time. Next, whenever we open or create the file or directory, the inodes gets updated, and the changes that have been done get copied to the dinode using the iupdate function. So, in order to record the current time when these functions are being performed, we will add some commands to store the current time whenever just before the iupdate function is being done. So, we have to edit the following functions. So we'll first edit the create function, which is used whenever we are creating a new file. Then we will edit the sysopen function in order to record time when we are opening a file or a directory. Then we'll edit the sysmakedr function to record time when a new directory is made, and syschange_dr function to record change when a directory is accessed, and syslink function to record change while linking. Also, we will need to update the iupdate function because from these functions we are changing the inodes. But whenever we are doing the iupdate, we change the dinodes, and for that we have to update the iupdate function so that the changes in inode gets copied to the dinode as well. So this is the pseudocode for tracking the timestamps whenever a file is created. So for created, we will edit the create function. And here we can see is that we took a RTC date data structure, and we using cmostime function, we get the current time, and then we add the parameters of the date data structure to the inode. Similarly, in iupdate, we take the inode and we apply the function in order to set the time parameters of the dinode to the time parameters of the inode. So this is for these functions. Next, we will discuss how to track timestamps for the files that are created by Makefile. So files such as echo, grep, etc. are created not by XV6 but while performing Makefile. To set timestamps for them, we need to edit the ialog type function in mkfs.c. So this is quite similar to what we did for the create function. We update the parameters for the dinode declared in the function. So the steps are as follows. So first of all, we will get the current time using the gmtime function. And then in the ilog function, we have a variable d, which is the di node for the file. So we will set the time parameters for this di node. The seconds field would be set to the current second, minutes field would be set to the current minutes, hours field would be set to current hours, and so on. The final part of our implementation would be displaying these files, timestamps. So first of all, we will modify the existing ls command in order to show the time along with the name of the files. So we will first modify the star structure similar to what we did for inode and dinode. Like we will add the time parameters such as seconds, day, month, year, and all these in the stat data structure. Next, we will change the printing statement in ls.c to print newly added fields for files as well. So in ls, we will edit the file case and add the printing statement for the access time. As the second feature, we will be implementing doubly indirect blocks to store larger files in xv6. So we have studied about indirect addressing, and currently xv6 has only singly indirect blocks. So every inode has 13 blocks, 12 of which are direct, and one is a singly indirect block that contains 128 block addresses. So a file can be stored in 140 blocks. The block size is 512 bytes, so the total storage is 140 into 512, that is 70 KB. However, Linux OS has abilities to store larger files because they have double, triple, and higher level indirect addressing also. So, as the second part, we will be implementing double indirect addressing to increase the max file size. So, what we intend to do is that instead of having a singly indirect block, we will have a doubly indirect block. So, due to this, we will have 12 direct blocks and one doubly indirect block, which will change the max file size to 12 into 512 plus 128 into 128 into 512. So that is 8 MB. Uh, so our plan for implementation is as follows. We plan to change the mapping of blocks in an inode in xv6. So the mapping is currently is done using the bmap function that is available in the file fs.c. So currently for a block number less than n direct, that is the number of direct blocks, we do direct mapping. And for block numbers n direct to n direct plus n indirect, we do simply indirect mapping. Now we will edit this function to add another case in which for block numbers from n direct to n direct plus n indirect into n indirect, we will do doubly indirect addressing. So our implementation will have the following steps. So first of all, for the block numbers less than n direct, we will allocate the block directly. Then for block numbers in the range n direct to n direct plus n indirect into n indirect, first we will load the singly indirect block. Then we will get the data from this indirect block, and then we will divide this data into n indirect number of parts and load every part of the partition that we have created. In singly indirect, we were just loading the data that we had received. However, now we will be dividing it and loading files into the data parts that we have got. So this is how we will perform doubly indirect addressing. So this is the pseudocode. So as we see, for block number less than n direct, if the block is not allocated, then we will allocate the block and return the address simply. Next, for the case of block number from n direct to n indirect plus into n indirect, if the block is not allocated, we will first load the singly indirect block. Then we will read the data from this block, and now we will get the block number by accessing the data of this block, the partition of the data that we have received. If this data is not loaded, then we will load the singly doubly indirect block. So this is how we will perform double indirect addressing. This is the second feature and the end of the presentation. Thank you.